Okay, so hello everyone. This is the last topic, okay, for the subject uh, for finals. The last unit, okay, that we will discuss would be your integrated marketing communications. So the source, okay, or reference that I've used, okay, for the discussion, we have the book of, okay, Philip Cutler and Kevin Keller, okay, Marketing Management 13th edition. So designing and managing integrated marketing communications. So what are the different, okay, questions in the chapter, okay, that we will satisfy or we will address? Okay, we have the following. What is the role of marketing communications? How do marketing communications work? What are the major steps in developing effective communications? What is the communications mix? Or what are, okay, the different components of your IMC, or known as integrated marketing communications, and how should it be set? Okay, as well as integrated marketing communications program. Okay, so when we talk about, okay, your integrated marketing communications, basing it on the, okay, presentation. So we have the Doves campaign for real beauty. If you try to observe, okay, we have this form of advertisement presented, wherein, okay, you have there a comparative uh, form of advertising, wherein, okay, the message is that, okay, the company wants to um, reach its customers that if you are using their products, of course, okay, it may lead to the effectiveness of, okay, the product that they are selling through, okay, enhancing, no, okay, the image or the personality of a certain user, because, okay, what they are selling definitely is a cosmetic product. Okay, so if you try to look at the presentation, you have there, okay, a picture or image of a woman, wherein, okay, they want to portray, the advertiser or the marketer wants to portray that if you are using their product, okay, it may lead to, okay, a better result. So moving on, okay, this is just an example. Okay, so what I'm trying to point out in here is that, okay, through advertisements, through sales promotions, or through marketing campaigns, if you have that message, okay, and you want to convey your message to your target customers or target audience, okay, you ensure that your customers will be able to understand, okay, what you are trying to tell them. Okay, that's why you are advertising, okay, your products, so that if they understood what your message or what you are telling them, they may purchase, okay, the product that you are selling. So what are marketing communications? So marketing communications are the means by which firms attempt to inform. So if you're coming up with, okay, an advertisement for your product, okay, you want to inform the public that you are selling or offering this kind of, okay, products, and this would be the benefits, okay, the customer will get when they purchase the good. You are persuading also customers to buy the product. Okay, so you are tapping, okay, their minds that, okay, this is the product that will solve, okay, their problems or their need. Okay, companies are also conducting marketing communications to remind consumers, okay, so about the product, so it may reinforce, okay, the good being offered in the market, or these existing products that are already available in the market. So this could be done either direct or indirect. Okay, so in advertising, okay, it's an indirect approach wherein it penetrates the mass market. Okay, while personal selling as a form of marketing communication, this is being done face to face, wherein we have a direct, okay, form of communication. So what are, okay, the things that you want to inform, persuade, remind consumers? Okay, it's all about your products as well as the brands, okay, that you sell in the market. Okay, so modes of marketing communications, it could be conducted through advertising, sales promotion, events and experiences, public relations and publicity, direct marketing, interactive marketing. It could also be done through word of mouth marketing as well as personal selling. So this would be the coverage of our topic for, okay, this recorded lecture. So your integrated marketing communications, okay, builds brands, considering that, okay, they will become aware, or your target audience will become aware about the product. It may also improve the image of the good. Okay, and then customers can be responsive to the brand that you offer, and in the long run you may also establish, okay, a strong relationship with your customers. So through your marketing communications program, okay, it may lead to brand equity, wherein there would be brand awareness, brand image, brand responses, as well as brand relationships. So the different communication platforms that you may use, okay, if we're talking about advertising, it can be through print or broadcast ads. Okay, so when we talk about print advertisements, so any form, okay, of communication wherein it is being placed on a printed materials, like for example, okay, you have their posters, okay, uh, leaflets, okay, tarpaulins. So these are more on outdoor, okay, advertisements. So outdoor advertisements, okay, are found out of home. That's why it's known as out of home advertisements. So when we talk about other, okay, print ads, we have, okay, newspaper advertisements as well as magazines. So there are advantages and disadvantages, okay, of this kind of adverts. Broadcast advertisements, the use of, okay, communication media or medium wherein it penetrates a broader segment in the market. Like for example, you are using television, okay, advertisement, or radio advertisement, or you may also apply, okay, internet advertising. So the use of the World Wide Web, okay, is a trend nowadays, wherein there are platforms that you may place your ads, like through social media. Okay, you can also have their video adverts or video clips, okay, placed on YouTube, something like that. Okay, and then we also have the so-called mobile advertisements. Okay, so when you talk about mobile advertisements, the use of mobile phones. Okay, so there is another type of advertisement known as also as, okay, mobile adverts, but these are found on, okay, let us say, uh transportation vehicles, okay, or even in the transits. Okay, so but, okay, if we're talking about this, it may cover another form of advertisement. Okay, like for example, if you see advertisements before on jeepneys, wherein okay, on top of that jeepney there are okay signages found, okay, like Globe and Smart, okay, did this before, okay, or even inside okay a vehicle there are advertisements, okay, so these are another form or communication platform. Okay, and then we also have packaging inserts. Okay, so there are advertisements wherein it is being placed on packaging. Okay, so motion pictures. Okay, if we're talking about, let us say, LED light advertisements today. Okay, like what is located in Abanao Square, as well as okay Portavaga. Okay, so it's a visual form of okay advertisement wherein they are using LED light okay technologies. So brochures and booklets okay was also mentioned earlier, as well as posters, okay, billboards. Okay, so billboards is our outdoor form of advertisements. Post of point of purchase displays. Okay, so you can see this kind of advertisements in department stores, supermarkets. Okay, we have logos, videotapes, okay, wherein it is being uploaded online. Okay, so these are the different form of advertising that you may apply. Okay, so there are okay classifications of advertising. We have a lot. Okay, in other subjects like media planning they are teaching this, so just to have okay a rundown on the major okay advertisements being used by okay companies. So if we're talking about print advertisements, any form of adverts placed on printed materials. Broadcast advertising, okay. So from the term itself, broad, it penetrates okay mass market. Okay, so the coverage of your advert is okay wider, comparing it to print. Outdoor advertisements, anything that is out of home, that's why it's also called as out of home advertisements. Okay, there are companies wherein they sponsor certain okay movies, productions, TV series, wherein you can see brands okay being endorsed in a certain video clip of this. Okay, so it can be part of motion pictures as well as videotapes. Okay, so they call this as your covert advertising. So covert meaning hidden. Okay, but why is it that they are using this kind of advertisements to stimulate the curiosity of people? Like for example, okay, so let us say in that movie, okay, in that movie, and then okay the cellular phone of that actor rang, and then okay the actor or celebrity answered the phone, and then you will see there a brand like Apple or Samsung. Those are forms of covert advertisements. Or let us say the 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 doorbell rang, and then when the celebrity opened the door, and then you will see there okay a product being delivered by a delivery boy, like a pizza, and then you will see their Pizza Hut. Those are okay examples of covert advertisements. So if you're going to use this kind of advertisement, you make sure that your product is known in the market, because okay customers or target audience will not be able to identify the brand name or the brand mark if it's they are not familiar with it. And then of course these are expensive okay form or platform when you communicate your product. Okay, and then aside from it, we also have public service announcements or public service advertisements. Okay, so these are advertisements used by agencies, either private or public, agencies like the government, to remind or inform people about a program or something, like there is a change in the SSS contributions, there is a change in the Pag-ibig contributions. Okay, so these are PSA, or okay, let us say DOH, they have this program about family planning. So when they advertise, they use PSA. So it could be integrated with either outdoor, print, or broadcast, something like that. Okay. So the purpose why companies advertise, definitely, okay, is that they want to create awareness. Okay, and then if customers are aware of the product, then okay, they are being informed about the product or brand, so it may create an interest, okay, for that person, okay, to purchase. But prior to purchasing the product, okay, there should be a strong desire, okay, for that person to purchase, so that they will act, okay, or they will buy. Okay, so you have that IDA framework, no? Okay, so attention, okay, interest, desire, action. And then of course, after a customer purchase the product, you need to consider whether the customer is satisfied or not. Okay? So, what are the different, okay, purpose why marketers advertise? Okay, if they want to stimulate demand, okay, for a certain brand or product that they advertise, so they use brand advertising. So if you will see, let us say, okay, an advertisement wherein they give emphasis on, okay, their brand, meaning, okay, is that they are stimulating demand for it, so they use brand advertising. If you want to promote goodwill, okay, or positive image for the company, you use institutional advertising. Okay, so institutional advertising are being applied by companies in order for them to create a positive image for the business, a good reputation. Okay, like for an instance, okay, UC, okay, they are coming up with publications wherein they donated something, they conducted community service or programs, so forth and so on. So that's a form of institutional advertising. Okay, we also have this so-called um, classified advertising. So if the company wants to create an opportunity for the public or opportunity for target audience, okay, they use this kind of advertisements. Like for example, when you purchase, okay, a newspaper, and then, okay, there are, let us say, products being offered on that, okay, periodical. So where do you see, okay, those products or services? Obituaries? Definitely not. It's placed under classified ads. You get my point? Or even job opportunities, okay, are being advertised. Okay. So next purpose, okay, of advertising would be promotional advertising. So promotional advertising is another form of communication wherein, okay, from the term itself, you want to promote, okay, your product. So it could be done through different, okay, events, through different, okay, style, through different themes. Okay, like for example, okay, Jollibee and McDonald's, when they advertise some of their advertisements, they are promoting their toys. But take note, what is the product of Jollibee and McDonald's? We're talking about food. Okay? But why is it that they are using the toys as a promotional tool? Because, okay, when they target their audience, like kids, okay, children, okay, consider this as part of their collections or collectibles. So they are going or visiting the store of Jollibee and McDonald's to avail those toys. Okay, and don't you know that Jollibee and McDonald's
are earning large sum of money only because of their toys. Okay, but take note, it's not their real product. Jollibee and McDonald's are not making toys. Okay, they are offering food, but okay, the scheme or style that they've applied, okay, using such okay toys, because it is intended for promotional okay communication, okay, so that customers will buy immediately if they have this kind of okay uh, collectibles okay offered in their store. Okay, so that's another form of okay communication and purpose of advertising, promotional advertisements. And then advocacy advertising, okay, if there is a certain okay, for costs for okay a company, like they have a program, okay, so advocacy from the term itself, okay, the company wants to be heard about okay the event or program that they're going to conduct. Okay, so it could be integrated with PSA if that would be the case. It's up to the advertising manager to design okay that communication program or advocacy okay campaign. Okay, like for example, Mercedes-Benz okay are creating or manufacturing cars. Okay, so they have this advocacy wherein part of their advertisements you can see okay they are portraying the bumper of the car as well as the tires of the car, but it is patterned with the breast of a woman. So it is patterned with the breast of that woman, but take note okay what the message that they want to convey is that okay they have this program that they are supporting breast cancer okay victims. So like for an instance, you have their breast cancer awareness month, so they are not advertising their car, but they are more on the advocacy. Okay, so it could be part of their corporate social responsibility, diba? Another example of advocacy for DOH, uh, this is the theme. Kung sila'y mahal ninyo, magplano. Okay, so that is their advocacy. So what's the message all about? About that okay tagline or slogan. Okay, is that we need to support okay the program of the government when we talk about family planning. Or another okay example, before we there are victims of firecrackers when they meet okay new year. That's why DOH came up with this program before, an advocacy, iwas paputok. Okay, so another okay program okay by the government. So we have a lot. Okay, so in for other okay companies, they have the support the AIDS victims, something like that, okay, and so forth and so on. So those are advocacy. Even for World Health Organization, because of the pandemic, they have the advocacy, okay, in India, okay, UNICEF supports poor people there. Okay, so they have also advocacy. So these are form of advertising. Okay, so to sum it up, when we talk about advertising, it could be through print, broadcast, covert advertising, outdoor advertising, and okay, PSA. And then the purpose of advertising, we have brand advertising, institutional advertising, promotional advertising, classified advertising, as well as advocacy advertising. And then you may integrate okay the different communication mix with your advertisements, because okay when we talk about okay advertising, this refers to the main ingredient, and then the other form of communications okay will support okay your adverts in your marketing communication programs. Like what? Okay, we have sales promotion, So sales promotions, okay, are being used or applied by companies to make customers buy immediately. So it can be in a form of contest, okay? So contest, like, if, let us say, you are purchasing in that grocery, and then, okay, you will be filling up this, um okay, stubs, and then you drop it in designated drop boxes. It could be classified as a contest, or even games, okay, or sweepstakes, okay. Premiums, these are products wherein it is being integrated or added to a product a customer purchased, okay. So, like, for example, I purchased a polo coupled with a tie, okay, something like that. Sampling, these are free products, okay, offered to customers so that, okay, they will try first the product prior to buying, okay. So trade shows and exhibits, car manufacturers are using this kind of sales promotions, wherein they have car expose, artists, they are coming up with exhibits, okay. Coupons, of course, okay, when you go to fast food chains like McDonald's and Jollibee, they have these coupons wherein you will be availing free products or discounts when you present it. Rebates, okay, when you purchase a product, and then there would be a percentage that would be returned to you, that would be in a form of rebates, okay. We have entertainment as well as continuity programs, okay. And then events and experiences, we have sports like NBA season, the Olympics, okay. So we also have entertainment, okay, festivals, okay. So here in Baguio, we conduct the flower festival, okay, during February, so it's a form of event, okay. So arts, okay, it could be integrated with exhibits. Causes, okay, I've explained that earlier. Factory tours, like, for an instance, okay, there would be an educational tour for students, okay, and then they will visit the factory of, example, Gardenia in Laguna, okay. So Gardenia, they allow people to enter their factory, but not inside. It's inside the building or vicinity, but not inside the factory itself, okay. So you may roam around their factory, okay. On the second floor, you will see inside the factory because it is being sealed with a glass or windows that you can easily, or the factory is visible for people that will visit the site or the factory, okay. So you can see, okay, how they process their products, but it's a form of promotion. And then they have, okay, a store there wherein, okay, you may purchase their products, okay, at a lesser price, no. So company museums is another example, okay, of events and experiences, as well as street activities. And then for public relations, okay, these are being used or applied, okay, by businesses to create um, good image or reputation. So you may use press kits, speeches, okay, seminars, annual reports, charitable donations, okay. We have publications, community relations, lobbying, and then, okay, identity media as well as company magazine, okay. So this is again another tool, okay, used or applied, okay, by companies, okay, to promote goodwill, okay. Like, for an instance, I mentioned earlier, UC, they have a publication that they donated something, they conducted this community outreach or extension program, okay. So that's a form of public relation to promote a positive image, okay. The one of the biggest highlight of UC, okay, is that UC funded, okay, the formulation of the master development plan of Burnham Park, okay. So it cost them millions, okay, of financial resources for these development plans, and then okay, they donated it. It's a charitable donation to the city of Baguio. Okay, and then there were press release, conference, publications in the periodicals, wherein okay, the chairman as well as okay, the mayor signed an agreement, okay, on the turnover of the master development plan of Burnham Park, okay, to the city of Baguio. So again, okay, that's one way of okay, doing a philanthropic activity, a benevolent practice, and at the same time it's a form of marketing through public relations. Okay, so this is an example, okay, of marketing programs. Like okay, you have there a tour on the Ford's Factory Museum. Okay, so it's a form of event and experience. Okay, personal selling, it's a face-to-face okay, form of communication. If we're talking about advertising, it's a paid form, informal okay, form of communication. While okay, when you talk about personal selling, this is a formal form of communication. So you may conduct personal selling through your sales presentations, sales meetings, if you have incentive programs, okay, providing samples as well as fairs and trade shows. Okay, so when you talk about personal selling, there are steps or process. So it starts from prospecting, and then okay, you have their pre-approach, and then approach, okay, and then when you conduct okay, sales presentations during meetings, you will be having demonstrations, okay, and then people or customers may ask questions, so okay, you need to handle objections, okay, you need to answer their questions, and if customers are satisfied okay with it, then they will make a purchase, okay, and then after purchase, last okay, step is you have the uh, post purchase. Okay, so you need to consider whether the customer is satisfied or not, they are disappointed with your products, okay, or they are being delighted. And then direct marketing, okay, it's it's a form okay, of communication wherein there is interaction between a customer but not face to face, like in the case of telemarketing, okay, or you can penetrate customers directly, okay, without even meeting them in person. Okay, so you may use catalogs, mailings or direct mail, telemarketing, electronic shopping, TV shopping, could be through fax or email, voicemail, flags, and the use of websites. Okay, so if let us say you've encountered an advertisement in Facebook and then you okay, message them, that's a form of direct marketing because they will respond okay, to your question or query okay, regarding the matter. Okay, so word of mouth marketing, okay, a lot of us knows this kind of setting, so it could be person to person, the use of chat rooms or blogs. Okay, so the elements in the communication process as presented in figure 17.2, if you are looking on the screen. Okay, so the marketer would be the sender of the message, and then okay, they will encode it, okay, encode their message okay, to be transmitted. The message would be transmitted through the different communication mix. It could be advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, public relations, or direct marketing. And then the receiver okay, of the message will decode okay, what the marketer wants to tell them, okay, and then they will respond. So response could be in a form of a feedback or purchase. Okay, so if a customer purchase a product, they will provide feedback. Okay, if they will purchase the product, that is already a response. Okay, so this is the communication process used, or the model applied when you create or formulate your own advertisement. Okay, so in terms of the field of experience, okay, the sender and the receiver, okay, should the sender should be understood by the receiver. So the message uh, that it is being transmitted, okay, and then the receiver, once that they understand, okay, what the message is all about, they will make a purchase, as simple as that. Okay, and at the same time, customers should be satisfied, okay, with the products and services offered by customers. So in the communication process, we have, okay, the following: selective attention. Okay, so if a customer is exposed to an advertisement, they tend to, okay, pay attention to what, okay, they are interested with. Okay, if they are not interested, so definitely, okay, they will not make a purchase. That's why you need to make your advertisements catchy, okay, to the eyes of the customer. Selective distortion, okay, from the term itself, okay, customers, okay, may agree or disagree with the message depending on their belief. Okay, retention, if they, okay, were exposed to an advertisement and then they recall, okay, what that advertisement is telling them, then, okay, that would be the process. So it's selective retention. Okay, so they may keep on buying the product. Okay, my all-time favorite when we talk about advertisement, wherein we classify it as selective retention, okay, is the advertisement of Fita, wherein there was this, okay, uh, goddess or fairy, wherein, okay, asking for a bread and then or a biscuit, and then the person uh, um provided, okay, the goddess or fairy half of that fita biscuit, and then, okay, the because of that, okay, action, the fairy asked something, okay, to that guy, and then, okay, the guy made a wish that he wants a sports car, red. Okay, so the fairy granted him, okay, that wish, but it's also half of the car. So the advertisement, okay, uses humor in that kind of, okay, advertisement. But for me, being the customer exposed to that advertisement, I always remember, okay, that kind of advertisement, because, okay, we have this so-called process known as selective retention. Okay, so um, response hierarchy models. So when we talk about cognitive stage, okay, attractive stage and behavior stage, using the AIDA model, you have attention, interest, desire, action. I mentioned this earlier. Okay, the hierarchy of effects model. Okay, so when you advertise, you communicate, you are creating awareness, then knowledge, liking. Customers may prefer product, and then they have this commitment to the product, conviction, and then they will purchase. Okay, for the innovation adoption model, awareness, interest, evaluation, trial, adoption. So if you remember the Akyeta and ETA principle, okay, that we've discussed before when we talk about, okay, buying behavior, so it's sort of associated with it. Then communications model, we have exposure, reception, cognitive response, attitude, intention, and behavior. So an ideal ad campaign, okay, so the right consumer is exposed to the message at the right time and place. So you need to consider the right moment when you advertise your products. Like for an instance, if you're going to use radio advertisement, and then your product is, let us say, Nescafe or coffee. So when would be the right time that you will advertise this? So definitely prior to, okay, uh, people making or having their breakfast. Okay, so early in the morning or during break times, something like that. So you need to consider also the right time wherein you will advertise your product. Like for example, there are products wherein it would be advertised during night time, wherein kids are already sleeping. Considering that, okay, it's within the policy or rules of advertising the product, legal requirements. Okay, like for vice products, cigarette, as well as alcohol are being advertised, okay, during those times wherein, okay, children are not being exposed to such media vehicle. Okay, the ad causes consumer to pay attention. Another thing to consider, the ad reflects consumers level of understanding and behaviors with product. The ad correctly positions brand in terms of points of difference and points of parity. The ad motivates consumers to consider purchase of the brand, and then the ad creates strong brand associations. So I mentioned this earlier when we talk about your brand equity. So the different steps in developing effective communications is to identify first your target audience. So who will be your customers that would be exposed to your advertisement, and then what would be your communication objectives. Okay, then followed by, okay, the design of your communication programs. Are you going to use advertising, sales promotions? Okay, and if you're going to use adverts and other forms of communication, what would be the what would be the, okay, combination. Okay, and then you need to select the channel or media that you're going to use, as well as, okay, establish your budget. So if you do not have ample financial resource to support, okay, television advertisement, there are other forms of communication like the internet. It's less expensive if you plan on going on broadcast, something like that. Then you need to decide on the media mix that you're going to use. And then last would be to measure the results or manage your integrated marketing communications. So communication objectives, okay, you need to consider the following: brand attitude, category need, brand awareness, as well as purchase intention. So in designing your communications, okay, so what would be your message strategy? How creative, okay, are you in your advertisement or in your communication mix? Okay, what would be your message source? If you are going global, how adaptive or responsive, okay, the global market in terms of advertisement? Because, okay, take note, there are also banned commercials. Okay, so most banned commercials, okay, do not pass certain legal as well as ethical, okay, requirements. um, when you search YouTube and then type there banned commercials, there are a lot of commercials wherein some people or the community may consider it as obscene. Okay, so especially if we're talking about places wherein they are high context cultures, okay, they are conservative. That's why you need to be careful even if you use humor. But if it is not acceptable to the target audience, okay, then definitely it would not be effective. Okay, so creative strategy, informational and transformational appeals, can be used, or there are positive and negative appeals like the use of fear. uh, like for an instance, when we talk about health products, like medicines, they use fear appeals or vitamins, that if you do not want to catch illness or sickness, okay, you take this. Okay, so they use fear, no, to protect your family.
Okay, you use this kind of product. Okay, so they use different kinds of appeals. Okay, it could be guilt, shame, humor. Okay, there is an advertisement, okay, of a shaver wherein, okay, it looks like, okay, the genital of a guy, but it's a shaver. Okay, and then they use humor in the advertisement. Okay, the tagline. Okay, uh this product sucks. Okay, because the vacuum is built right in, something like that. Okay, so it's up to you to interpret, okay, the message. Love, pride, joy. Okay, so when you talk about, let us say, Jollibee and McDonald's, they use joy, they use love in their advertisement because they portray family. Okay, so here in the Philippines, they, part of the culture of Filipinos, they value, okay, family, because uh, we have the so-called family, uh, close, or close family ties, sorry, close family ties. Okay, so they use this kind of appeal in order for them to penetrate the market. In terms of message source, some companies, they
Also use celebrity characteristics in terms of their expertise, trustworthiness, likability. Okay? So for Haynes, okay, they use Michael Jordan, okay, as a celebrity, okay, to advertise their products. Okay, if you are an NBA fanatic, okay, we have Stephen Curry, LeBron James, we're in, okay, they endorse different kinds of products because they are icons, no? Okay, but take note, it's expensive. Okay, okay, uh, using celebrities to endorse your product. Okay, even for Alden and Yaya Dub, okay, you know, Main Mendoza, okay, contract when she advertised products, approximately 153 million. Okay, can you imagine that? It's so expensive, okay, to hire, okay, these celebrities just to endorse your product. But that's the very essence of communication. Okay, so global firms uses, okay, celebrities in order for them to sell more of their products. Okay, what more if you're going to use an international celebrity like Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Okay, is the highest paid actor. Or okay, you have Taylor Swift, one of the highest. She's the highest paid singer. Okay, so issues facing global adaptations is the product restricted in some countries. Okay, so your advertisement can be used here in the Philippines but not in other places, something like that. Okay, that's why we have this, okay, global adaptation wherein you tend to localize, okay, your advertisement so that it would be helpful for the company and it could be understood by your, okay, market. Are there restrictions on advertising the product to specific target market? Like for an instance, let us say Avon company, they are producing cosmetics, or they have this brashear. Okay, if we're talking about Europe as a target market, you can portray a model using that brashear. They can show skin, it's okay for them because they're not conservative. But in Middle East, it's a no-no. They do not allow, okay, endorsers to show skin. Even a shampoo being advertised, okay, probably it's only the hair. Okay, can comparative ads be used? Can the same advertising be used in all country market? Marlboro advertisements use a standardized form of communication. So what is being advertised in US, it is also advertised in other countries. Um, McDonald's, okay, if they have this tagline, "I'm loving it," they just um, translate, okay, "I'm loving it" with the language of, okay, of people in that country. Like for example, okay, I'm loving it in US when they advertise when McDonald's advertise here in the Philippines, they have this so-called love ko to. Okay, but still the concept is the same. So when you select communication channels, it could be personal, non-personal, or integration of channels. So personal communication channels, okay, it could be an advocate, expert, or social channels. Okay, so when we talk about personal selling as well as um, direct marketing, you can also use this kind of communication. Stimulating personal influence channels, identify influential individuals and devote extra attention to them. Okay, we've discussed opinion leaders before. So create opinion leaders, use community influentials in testimonial advertising, develop advertising with high conversation value, develop word of mouth referral channels, establish an electronic forum, okay, like for example those chat box, blogs, okay, or websites, and then use viral marketing. For non-personal communication channels, we have media, sales promotions, events and experiences, public relations. Okay, so we've discussed this in the previous slides. Okay, when you establish your budget, it should be affordable. You need to consider the percentage of sales, competitive parity, as well as the objective and task. Okay, so objective and task method, establish the market share goal. Okay, you need to determine the percentage that should be reached, determine the percentage of our prospects that should be persuaded to try the brand, determine the number of advertising impressions per 1% trial rate, determine the number of gross rating points that would have to be purchased, as well as determine the necessary advertising budget on the basis on the average cost of buying. Okay, so characteristics of the marketing communications mix. Okay, when we talk about advertising, the pervasiveness, amplified expressiveness, and impersonality. While sales promotion, okay, you have their communication, incentive, and invitation. Okay, so why is it that you want to make them buy immediately? Okay, so when we talk about sales promotions, there are two types. So it could be trade or consumer promotion. Trade promotion are being used or applied to trade channels, your distribution channels, okay, middlemen, while promotions, these are being used, okay, on end users. Then characteristics of the marketing communication mix, okay, for public relations and publicity, you have there in the slide, kindly go over it, as well as events and experiences. Okay, direct marketing, personal selling, as well as word of mouth marketing. Okay, so factors in setting communications mix. Okay, so what would be the product that you are offering? What would be the type of product, okay, market that will be buying, okay, your goods? So the customer readiness, as well as your PLC or the product life cycle. Okay, we've discussed this, okay, during the last topic for midterms. So I've uploaded, okay, a recorded lecture regarding this. Okay, so you need to consider if the product is under introductory stage, so what would be your communication program if it is, okay, on this level, if it is on growth, maturity, or decline stage. Okay, so cost effectiveness by buyer readiness stage, current consumer states for, okay, the brands, then coordinating media to build brand equity. So you have there your brand signature, media interactions, ad retrieval cues, something like that. Okay, so uh, there is, okay, an activity provided in this slide, okay, for okay, the last topic. So instead that it's a marketing debate, okay, so you will just place your answer, okay, on the module, okay, or in the canvas. Okay, so I'll be transferring, okay, the marketing discussion,
okay, or marketing debate or marketing activity in the okay homepage. Okay, so you go over okay the recorded lecture, okay, and then do additional or enhancement learning, and then okay answer the different activities posted in the canvas. Okay, so that ends the topic okay for finals for your subject. Thank you and have a blessed day.